All glory. Fucking Rebel Poet Society this bitch. Wonderful line. Amazing world built. I can't stop reading. So good. I shit my pants with excitement. That's all text.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's great.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We started the stream early because we're both here and ready to go.
Yeah.
If you're new, this is a stream where, of course, I, the author of The Garden of Lies, am reading it bit by bit for your enjoyment. If you want to support me in my endeavors, hit that like button, leave a comment in the live chat or on the video after we're done. Share this around, subscribe to the channel, hit the damn bell, all the things, you know. This is my friend Kate. Kate, why don't you plug yourself really quick?
With what? I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Oh my.
Oh my. I'm Kate from Wild Rider. As you can see, I'm the Wild Kate, and I write stuff and try to help people overthrow TradPub.
Mm-hmm. We're on a mission to fuck TradPub up the ass. We're on. Alrighty, so let's catch up on Mason's. I fucking love this guy's commentary and his fucking primers for these.
These are great.
Kate, would you like to read them?
Yes, I can. All right. In an effort to preserve his family's legacy, Dalj learned the secret recipe of smithery devised by his father. Now the blades he forges are the only things sharper than his wit. Our plucky hero was treated to a luxurious bath by a servant girl who was very fascinated by his scars, but we all know she was just checking out his rock-hard abs. It was a mixed week for the members of Team Amnes as we got a glimpse into her life and family dynamics. Unfortunately, the life of privilege was at odds with Dalj's humble sensibilities. Will this be a bump in their road to love? In a shocking cliffhanger, Dalj and his newest friend were rendered unconscious by darts to the neck. Words? Will Dalj need to fight his way out of this dangerous situation, or will his words be enough? Find out this week on Garden of Lies. Yeah.
Yep, that about covers it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
We have yet to introduce them to that.
All right, everyone. This is the Garden of Lies. Sorry. Throat is. I apologize. I do this shit for free, and all I have to return is your. Well, my friend, you have it.
Yeah,
you have it. All right, chapter 12. This mountain won't hold me forever. I gotta be more scented. Okay. Nope, that doesn't. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting my setup here adjusted. Fucking.
Or if you want to, make yourself bigger. Make you bigger, not me. There you go.
Okay. All right. I wake up tied to a tree. I feel groggy, and it's a chore just to open my eyes. I notice Sin is tied up next to me, and whoever shot us with the darts dragged us out to Lake Dominga. Which means one thing: they're probably going to kill us. After I blink my eyes and start getting some focus, I can see some figures off in the distance. 2 of them a few hundred yards away, whispering so I can't hear. They are wearing all black, form-fitting clothes and face coverings. Assassins. I nudge Sin slightly with an elbow. I'm awake. Don't indicate to them that I am, he mumbles, through what I assume are pinched lips. I can't quite see his face. Did they glove your claws too? I ask. He grunts in the affirmative. I sneak another glance at our captors to make sure I can check safely. Then I wiggle my leg a bit. Good. My knife is still in my pant leg, tucked into my boot. I have a knife in my right boot, but I can't get it out without them seeing. Wait till we have an opening. If they take it, we're even more fucked than we are now, he mumble whispers. I watch them from the corner of my eye for a few minutes. No opening presents itself. Then they begin approaching us. They stand over us, each around 5.5 feet tall. I can't see any of their features besides that. They are completely concealed by clothing. Herbs are burning in a censer hanging from the one on the left's belt. Must be how they masked our scent trail. Well, I guess no help is coming. Neat. We know you're awake, Dalj. The poison does not keep shifters asleep this long. I lift my head and offer them a smug grin. Evening, gentlemen. To what do I owe the pleasure of this kidnapping? They spare a quick glance at each other. We require information which we believe you have, Dalj. Answer our questions and you will be free to go. I don't believe them for a second, but it might be beneficial to play along for now. They seem to be ignoring Sin. Do they know he's awake? Okay, ask away. I'm an open book, with a few pages in Star Tongue. We are fluent in Star Tongue. Ah, shaman then, and humorless ones at that. That's handy, I'm sure. I say. Where is the forgotten agent who has been contacting you? What is their name? What do they look like? And what did they tell you? I have no idea what these guys are talking about. Come again? The other one with the sensor pipes in. Do not play coy. We have limited patience and great need for the information. Translation: the enhanced interrogation is a few wise-ass remarks away. You guys are shaman. Why don't you suck the info out of my head if you're so sure I have it? Not all shaman possess that skill. It is actually exceptionally rare. That's true, but he's bullshitting me. Of course you would send at least one dreamsmith on an interrogation mission like this, which means they probably tried, which means they know I'm immune. Fuck. Any hope of being allowed to live just evaporated. Answer us, now, Censor Boy says. His impatience is leaking ever so slightly into his voice. Here's the thing. I honestly do not know what you guys are on about. Else, I would probably answer. I don't care to get flash fried like Arian and his gang. I don't know anything about this forgotten agent, or even what that is. Which is mostly true. I have a suspicion, but I don't know it to be fact. And if I voice it, it will just get a potentially innocent person killed with me and Sin. They share a glance again. The calm one nods to Censor Boy, and they turn around and begin returning to where they were when I awoke, no doubt discussing their interrogation plan. Sin, are you ready? When I cut myself out, I'll cut you out. Then we kill these guys. You better shifted or humanoid. Depends. Probably shifted in this case. I use my left boot to pry off my right. Hard as void with the laces done like they are. Thank gods they're old and worn, else it would probably be impossible. I have to be careful as the right starts to come off. Can't risk the knife flying off with the boot. I'll take Censor Boy. You familiar with a weaving charge? They teach that to wolves too, huh? All warrior canids, far as I know. Getting the knife to my hand is a pain, and I have to stop moving when they glance back every so often. I can't believe they didn't find my knife. The gloves they put on us to cover our claws are damn near impossible to grip an object with, but I manage to get through a knot holding my right hand in its glove. After I get the knife into my right hand, I make quick work of the rest of my bonds. They're at the spot now, and they turn to watch us as they talk. But eyes are a little better as they talk. I'm missing a word there. But shaman eyes are a little better than human, if any. From their distance, they won't see my arm moving behind Sin in the shadows of this tree. A few quick slashes, and he is free. Shit, you nicked me. Careful. My bad. I pass him the knife, and he makes a few cuts of his own. The ropes all go completely slack, and he drops the knife behind him. Are you ready? He asks. Yeah, slow down a bit until we're close. I can't move quite as fast as you do. He nods slightly. I tap my hand to his side, and we lurch from our seated position into a sprint, each of us shifting as we go. The shaman are quick to react. I hear the calm one say something about always forgetting to check prisoners as he lobs a ball of fire the size of a watermelon at us. Me and Sin react in turn. We begin the serpentine weave charge taught to us to approach rogue shaman and those using arrows. Together we weave a series of 8s, occasionally taking the other's place when we pass. Censor Boy is apparently a master of the tectonic shaman art, because he stomps the ground and sinkholes appear which we must jump over. Rocks shoot up out of the ground near him and fly towards us, some of them hidden by the searing light of the other shaman's flames. It doesn't matter how good you are. When that much stuff is coming at you, some of it is going to hit. Rocks start hitting me with vicious impact. I dodge the ones I can, but my focus is on dodging the balls and lances of flame being thrown at me. Sin seems to be managing better than I where evasion is concerned, but I still see a rock catch him every few steps. The 300-foot charge proves to be a harrowing endeavor, but we are at the last 50 feet now. The Censor Boy stops with the projectiles and calls up stones to float around him, which then crumble into dust before reforming as solid stone again around his fists. I might have picked the wrong guy. Sin lunges into the air as if gravity doesn't hold him and flies towards the fire shaman. But Sin made one big mistake. He jumped with enough distance between them for the shaman to ready one more attack. A fireball is launched from the outstretched hand, hitting Sin on his chest. But despite the smell of burning hair and the heat I can feel from where I am, Sin is undaunted and keeps his claws aimed at their target. The shaman jumps to the side and Sin lands, turning to press the assault. That's the last I see of my friends fighting before I close with the stone shaman. Until now, I haven't talked about the offensive side of the Way of the Mountain, a martial art called the Way of the Avalanche. It's the only hand-to-hand style I know besides the Wolf Army standard martial arts every wolf warrior is taught. The Avalanche is a martial art focused on momentum, on the study of force and inertia. In other words, Those who learn these twin disciplines are both the immovable object and the unstoppable force. I am barreling towards my enemy at a hard 50 miles per hour, maybe more. He takes the only sane course of action. He gets the void out of the way. He jumps right over me, spinning in the air as he does to face me when he lands. I dig my claws into the moist, fertile dirt, turning hard and fast to charge again. Slower this time, though. I don't want him to jump. I want him to try to block me. He takes the bait and raises his fists to stand his ground. As I approach, I raise a claw to swipe down and rend his chest apart. He manages to catch my claw on an arm encased in stone. He uses his other arm to brace it. But shaman are not the physical equals of shifters. He strains with all his might to hold my one claw at bay. So I slash with my other. His defense is more versatile than I guessed, though. Moments before I open his stomach to the air, a rock shoots from the ground off to the side and impacts my palm. It feels like I hit my hand with a hammer, and my fingers hang limp. I can't get them to move even though I am inside the mountain. He's still straining to hold off my other claw. That must be the reason he is not launching more stones. I must be taxing him near his limit. He doesn't have the energy or attention to command the stone. If I could simply hold him here until he becomes exhausted, it would be a formality to kill him once he crumbled. But he knows that just as well as I. So he changes the paradigm. Suddenly his body goes limp, and he begins falling to the ground. At the same time, the ground sucks my feet in and starts pulling me back and away from my enemy. He regains his feet, and his eyes close in concentration, and a whirlwind of stone and dirt rises around me, blocking all sight and sound and smell. Inside this vortex, I am pummeled by rocks nonstop. I feel as though I am being punched by hundreds of fists of many sizes at the same time. I retreat deep into the mountain. I don't know what else I can do. Here the pain does not reach me, and I have time to think. I knew the time would come when you needed me. That voice, the one from my dreams. Unleash me, so I can kill this worm. I'm hearing the words in my head, but they aren't my thoughts. I would feel terrified if I wasn't already safe on the mountain. This mountain will be your mind's grave, and the lake will be your bodies. Unleash me! How can I? Simply come out of the mountain and meet me. So I do. At this point, what do I have to lose? I lower the walls in my mind, and suddenly the image of the black and white figure flashes before my eyes. The laughter from my dreams thunders in my ears, and for a brief moment there is absolute nothingness, as if I have ceased to be. The next thing I know, I have pulled my feet out of the ground by main strength and plunged through the wall of the vortex. I can hear and smell. I feel a paw-like hand wipe dirt from my face, and I can see. But something is wrong. I didn't pull my legs from the dirt. I did not wipe my eyes. And now, it is not me telling my legs to run towards the shaman. The laughing is still audible in the background. The shaman doesn't see me coming. His eyes are closed in focus until it's too late. I feel my hand plunge into his gut and go back until I feel his spine on my fingertips. Our eyes meet, and a twisted grin slides across my face. I grasp his spine and tug. He yelps like a puppy and then crumbles to the ground, sliding off my blood-soaked hand. The laughing gets louder. About 30 yards away, the fire shaman has his back turned to me as he defends from a series of raking slashes from Sin's claws. I stalk over to stand behind the retreating shaman. I simply extend my hand and wait. The shaman backs up, as he has been, and his neck lands right in my palm. He tries to jerk away, but my grip is fast like a snake. Solid like a vice. Unable to retreat, a slash from Sin opens his throat, and I release my grip. A second body crumbles to the ground. Now, the kitty cat, I hear the voice say. I struggle to take back control of my limbs. None of them respond. I can feel my muscles tensing. I'm about to lunge at him. In panic and horror, I retreat back into the mountain as far as I possibly can, to a place so deep I disconnect from all my senses. The place you go when death is certain, Engil once told me. This mountain won't hold me forever. I wake up to a hard slap to the face alongside a shout of, Dalj! My eyes open, and Sin sighs deeply in relief, rocking back onto his butt from his knees. He's back in humanoid form. So am I. Most shifters will revert to human form when they fall asleep, shifted. Sorry. Sleeping in your bestial form is actually an acquired skill, one that I took longer than most to learn. Can't be good at everything. I know. It upsets me too. What happened? I ask Sin. He runs a hand over his face and breathes another deep, steadying breath. I notice he has some nasty burns on his arms and upper chest. The cotton shirt and vest he wore are gone. From the smell, I am guessing burned away. After you grabbed his neck and I killed him, you just collapsed. Checked your pulse and breathing. You seemed fine, so I was starting to get freaked when you wouldn't wake up. Been laying there still as fuck for like 20-30 minutes. Thank gods. Going back into the mountain worked. But what the void was that? The voice in my dreams is clearly more than just a nightmare. I've got to talk to Engil about it. And what the void is with this whole thing anyways? Why did these guys kidnap us? They took you because you were with me, I think. Sin rolls his eyes. No shit. Only ever said anything to you. I mean, why are they after you? Honestly, no idea. Everything I told them was true. Which is mostly true. I really don't know who or what this forgotten agent is. I can't tell Sin about my ability. I don't even know if that's why these two were after me. I groan as I sit up. I hurt in all kinds of new and exotic ways. Neat. Inside the mountain I go. We have to bury them, I say. Sin agrees, and we stand to start with the fire shaman. When we hear a wet cough from behind us, I turn my head and am more than slightly surprised to see the stone shaman, Sensor Boy, is still breathing, albeit badly. I nod my head in his direction and turn. Sin follows me. I seem to remember something about a lack of patience. How's that working out for you, buddy? I say as I squat down at his side. His laugh is weak, and it comes with blood and pained gasps. They said you wouldn't go down easy. Should have listened. He coughs up more blood. I am nothing short of astonished he is alive at all. I can see his shattered spine through the hole in his gut. When I look at it, I can feel how it crumbled under my grip as I pulled. By the mask god, you fucked this guy up, Sin says casually. Who sent you and why? I ask. The shaman grins and winks at me. You'll see. Soon enough. Then he exhales slowly, and his heartbeat ceases. Damn it, I say as I stand. We drag the bodies near the waterline, then wade into the shallows. We dig up sand and mud with our claws till we have a pit several feet deep. The water rushing in makes it difficult, but burying them in the lake will make them all but impossible to find. We strip the bodies of things that won't decompose, like the censer, an ornate dagger, and one of them has a scroll I can't read, but it might be valuable information, so I take it. Then we dump them into the hole in the lake bed, weigh them down with rocks, and replace all the mud and sand we dug out. After about 20 minutes, the waves of the lake have erased any evidence a hole was dug there. The entire time we worked, we were silent, an unspoken understanding that this is our secret. He doesn't know why they want me, but he knows that if anyone finds out about this, he will be hunted as well. Now, after washing off the dirt and blood in the lake, we trudge home exhausted, bruised and battered, and most of all, uncertain of what is to come. The sun is rising by the time we arrive in town. We head straight for Engiel for medical care. I pray he does not ask how this happened. Neither of us have thought up a convincing lie. I thank whatever force is at work that that has kept the streets as sparsely populated as they are so far. I climb the steps to the front door, and it opens just before I reach out for it. Well, if it isn't Holy Mother of the Void! What happened to you two? Kira looks at us, 3 parts horror, 1 part curiosity on her face. I suppose we must look pretty rough. Me and Sin trade a conspiratorial glance. Nothing. Why? We say in concert. Her look gains anew 1 part consternation, 1 part weary surrender, and she waves us in. Engiel just fixed my ribs. I'm sure he's still in his lab. I'll help you two down. We don't need her help, but I don't bother objecting. She wouldn't listen anyways. We enter the basement, and Engiel is standing with Zack at the basement hearth. He appears to be teaching his apprentice something about cooking herbs for use in salves and balms. Engiel, Kira calls, and the 2 shaman turn to look at us. Engiel's eyebrows shoot up in shock. Zadok's expression remains unfazed. The beds. Kira, Zack, razor grass balm and bandages. Engiel orders, but Zack was already moving before he received the order. Kira stands off to the corner, looking lost, wanting to help but having nothing to do. Kira, tell Amnes and my pack at my place what's going on. Tell them I'll be that way soon, please. For a second, she doesn't react, as if she didn't hear me, but then she nods and rushes out. The next 2 hours are a collection of bandaging and stitching. Engiel demonstrates his mastery of healing, both mundane and magical, when he heals the worst of Sin's burns. Running a hand over them, there's a sound like a static shock, but many in quick succession, and the smell of a lightning strike. When Engiel's hand comes up, the flesh is mended. I would heal all your wounds completely if I could, but I simply do not have the stamina. Some things you must do for yourself, he says to us. After the bandaging and stitching is complete, Engiel dismisses Zack. What happened? He asks, staring us down, expecting an honest answer. Sin lays in his bed staring at the ceiling, doing his best to be invisible. Can we talk about this in your study, Engiel? That gets Sin's attention. I notice his eyes glance over at me, but his head does not move, and he makes no objection. Engiel's study. Inside Engiel's study, we sit in the same chairs, but this time there is no mead or whiskey. I debate lying to him, but something tells me he knows enough to catch me in it. I have a hunch, so I decide to act on it. You know who attacked me already, Angel. His face does not change, but a small glint in his eyes tell me I hit on something. He does know something. You know who's been talking about me in the noble circles. You know who ordered my death. He sighs, seeming to debate something of great weight. It clearly pains him by the look on his face. I do not know the individual, but I know the general group and reason behind it. Yes. I feel my gut twist in knots. And you didn't tell me? I choke on the words as they leave my lips. He sighs and reaches up to rub his forehead with his hand. I cannot tell you, he says. Why the void not? Because some things cannot be unheard, cannot be forgotten. That sounds suspiciously similar to something a small redhead said to me. You know Angel, don't you? He shows a hint of surprise on his face, then sighs and nods. She is my adopted daughter. Come again? I can't believe my ears. You heard me right, Dalj. She is my adopted daughter. Not many know, but it is a matter of official legal record. She is a free human. At first, it takes me by surprise, but then pieces start falling into place. But the flogging in the square, I ask, trailing off. A bit of theater. She and her associates needed to gauge your reaction. I told them not to. They did not listen to me. Her associates? Angel, what the void are you talking about? Gauge my reaction for what? What is this big secret you're both dancing around? Why did Angel ask me to free her if she's already a free human? My voice builds as I go. I'm practically shouting by the end. I remove the scroll I took off the shaman and show it to Angel. What is this, Angel? Why does the Grand Council want me dead? He takes the scroll and reads it. I watch his face bundle into knots as it shifts from concern to relief to confusion and back again. Suddenly, he bundles the scroll into a ball in his hands and incinerates it. Hey! I shout as I reach for it, but no man's hand moves faster than lightning. The scroll is gone. I stare daggers at Angel. I will not be a party to your damnation, Dalj. Please, heed my warning. Go to the trial. Earn the rank of Shaman Guard. I believe doing so will halt the efforts on your life. You really think that? He turns his head away. I hope so. I press him for more answers. He simply won't provide them to me. He looks defeated as he sits in his chair, staring out his window that overlooks the square. Whatever the truth is, I won't get it from my old mentor. I'm about to exit the door when I remember there's one more thing I need to ask him. Do you know why I might be hearing a voice in my head? That seems to get his attention again, but he shakes his head in the negative after brief contemplation. What is it saying to you? He asks. Nothing good. I slam the door. After telling Sin to meet me at my place later, I leave to hopefully track down answers. I wander through the town for a while until I find the scent I am looking for. I follow it through the streets and alleys until it takes me to a seemingly random house on the northwest side of town. I knock 7 times mildly, and I hear footsteps approach the door. Angel opens it. When her eyes take me in, she looks surprised and slightly worried. We need to talk, I say as I force my way inside. Hey, you can't just... she says as I push past her and walk into the living room. I hear her close the door behind me. I knew you had to be connected to NGL somehow. Knew too much not to be, I say as I look over her living room. It's fairly nice, in a homely kind of way. A cupboard with nice dishes, a polished table. Most interesting is the piano that sits underneath a large painting of a garden during a summer sunset. The place is done in colors of amber and red, giving it a strange contrast where the colors collide violently. I don't know what I know because he adopted me. I turn around and look at her. She is still standing by the door. Then how? I ask. Will you help me? She asks. Answers first, I say. Ugh. He always told me how stubborn you were growing up, but I never imagined it was this bad. I decide to change the subject. Maybe I can throw her off and make her expose something. How did I never see you? I was NGO's ward for almost a year. Simple. He hid me. Keeps our connection secret. He worries about blackmail, she says frankly. But you don't. I can take care of myself. She says it with gusto, but I know she knows it's a load of care-praying crap. Why ask for my help if she believed that? 2 shaman tried to kill me today. If you know what the void is going on, tell me, or I'll never help you. Concern grips her face and voice. You will, once you learn the truth. I sigh in exasperation. How the void will I learn the truth if no one will tell me? She looks a little defeated. I'm sorry. I really am. I wish I could just come clean. I really do. But I can't. Until I know you're on board. I stare blankly. This is all someone's idea of a really sick, elaborate joke, I say. She scoffs. I wish. I begin storming past her. If you don't tell me, I don't help, I say as I aggressively open the door, then slam it shut on my way out. I brood in frustration as I walk back to my place, stopping along the way for a few breakfast skewers. Back at my place, I have 2 packs and Sinkotsu waiting for me in my front yard. They're all practicing, waiting on me, it seems. I have to insist on a moment alone with Sin to get the others to leave us be. I wasn't able to learn anything about who attacked us. Don't bullshit me, he replies. I throw my hands up in frustration as I turn and pace around my workshop. Look, man, I really don't. I don't want to drag you into some bullshit, so please take me at my word. Look, man, I'm already drug in. You might as well tell me, or we fighting. I don't play this clandestine bullshit. A motherfucker tried to flash fry me. I don't like it, but he's right. So I tell him what precious little I know, still excluding chaos, but being honest otherwise. Damn. You really don't know shit. Yep, is my only reply. So this girl just puts on this bit of political theater, and suddenly stuff starts going to shit, he asks. That's a reasonable, if overly simple, summary. Damn. Bitches can ruin anything, he says, resignation in his voice. But now that he mentions it, there is some truth to that. All of this seems to have started after I saw Angel get whipped. On top of that, it seems like at every major development, she shows up. Why is she seemingly so central to whatever I'm being swept up in? And who's doing the sweeping? At first, I would have said it was her, but now I am not so sure. She couldn't have made Aryan attempt his cheating. She couldn't have orchestrated him and his pack in getting cooked by the foxhole shaman. Questions are abundant, answers are scarce. For now, I don't think these are just a string of random events, but for now, that's just a hunch. You gotta give this Argos guy your answer, Sin says out of nowhere. What makes you say that? He raises a hand with his fingers outstretched. 1, nobles are kept waiting at one's own peril. At least where I'm from. He dramatically lowers a finger. 2, talking to him might give you a hint if he had anything to do with... Sin stops talking and perks his ears to make sure we aren't being eavesdropped on. When he's satisfied, he continues. Stony and Toasty trying to off us. 3, you need to give him an answer anyways. Better you do it before he hears it through the grapevine. Sin is right on all points. I nod. I'll go tonight after the day's training. Care to back me up, just in case? He shrugs. Fuck it. Why not? Chapter 12. Garden of Lies. What the fuck, Jalen?
I'm sorry. I had it on mute. Is it all distorted and stuff?
Yes. Unplug your mic and plug it back in. Holy shit. You sound like a demon zombie techno something or other. It was bad. All right. Let's catch up on Mason's string of comments. Somewhere up here. Okay, here we go. Tied up. I knew it was going to be a sex scene. Assassins or dominatrixes. Yeah, preferably, they wouldn't be male in that scenario. Or both. That's one hell of a double life. Do I smell world building? Yes, you do. Agatha Brown. Oh, I'm sorry, Sin. I'm a little busy getting us the void out of here now. Chill out, stop. He said, ooh, magic. Yeah, telekinetic magic at that. I don't even have a witty remark. Well, thank you, Mason. I appreciate that. I did enjoy writing that line. I thought I was pretty clever. Both the immovable object and the unstoppable.
Yes. Yeah, because when I first read that, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yep. And I insisted on calling it the Way of the Avalanche because of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
The rebel group in Final Fantasy VII calls itself Avalanche, and I've always loved the idea of naming things. My truck, my first vehicle, which is parked out right now, is named Avalanche.
Oh, man. Yeah, because I also like the symbolism behind it, too, though, because it implies that he just gathers momentum and bodies on the way across.
Right? Right? It's like once he gets moving, he does not stop.
Yep.
He does not stop until he is at the finish line.
Like, oh, carnage.
Why, thank you, sir? I appreciate it.
Yes.
He said, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!"
Dark passions are mode initiated."
Yeah.
Tap him on the shoulder. Honestly, because I'm the main character. Ooh, foreshadowing. Yeah.
Yes, there's lots of foreshadowing.
If you bury some motherfuckers with a motherfucker, you know you can trust that motherfucker you buried those motherfuckers with.
Exactly. Would you like my song?
Do you want to hide the bodies?
It doesn't have to be in one piece.
Yeah, but man, I could have had it translated. That's a pretty casual to an anvil-sized admission. Yeah,
Right.
that's fair. That's fair. Mason. Chomps brings you angrily. The most angrily.
Yep.
Straight up stoner. Yep. I didn't even think about that when I wrote that, but yep. Strings of comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my input not invaluable?
Like what? No, we love your input.
Quite the contrary. It makes it all worth it. So, Caitlin, any thoughts?
Any thoughts? Well, I just remember when I first read it and how much, like I said, one of my favorite lines was both the immovable object and the unstoppable force. And the symbolism behind avalanche, because it really, like when I was first reading it, the whole setup, and you mentioned avalanche, and immediately in my head, I was like, okay, so here's the build of momentum right here. And because the idea that it was going to build momentum and, just pick up bodies along the way. And that was like, okay. And then when the dark one showed up, I was like, oh, so this is going to get really bad. But it didn't end up like
you gotta save something for the later chapters. I said no, you gotta save something for the later chapters. Can't go full beast mode yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just wondered like how extreme it was going to get between him and Sin at that moment. Because I was like, okay, is he actually going to be able to control it or not?
Valid question.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I absolutely love about this was the fact that it continued to build. And that's another reason why it only took me like a couple of days to read this after I got it, because I couldn't stop. So I was like, but wait, I have to find out what happens.
Your guys' praise really does mean everything to me. It makes it all worth it. Yeah, man, that was one of my main things. I really tried to keep the suspense maximum, build it, never let it drop for even a moment. Aw, thank you, but you noticed. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because that was also one thing. Because I was like, oh, it's so poetic, and the prose is so classical, but at the same time, it's fucking hilarious.
You're too kind,
Oh
Mason.
my goodness.
Too kind, sir. My cold iron heart.
You're like, it grew 3 sizes today. Be like, here you go. I will give you back Christmas.
Are you a who? Is that why you're so short and have that button nose?
Ha 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 ha. Well, at least I don't have an oversized philtrum. It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. He'll be so much happier with me in his head instead. Facts. But, oh, God. Caitlin, I just love how everything Mason says. Like, I can literally reply, just wait, to every single comment about the story he makes. And it's almost eerie.
Well, hey, but that tells you, though, that he views things not just as a reader, but a writer.
Yep.
It's called the gift of perspicacity.
Good job, buddy. You're doing so well. I'm proud of you. Oh man, Dalj, you just raked that guy's insides out of his. You just made that guy's outsides his insides so fast and efficient. Good job, buddy. Man, that guy's dead. That guy's more dead than anyone's ever been dead before.
Been like, and the award for most amount of people pancakes goes to
That one's funny, Kate. Your technique is fantastic.
exactly.
Okay, well, it's been fun, everyone.
Yeah.
Again, the book is The Garden of Lies. If you think it's good, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Share this series around with your friends, this series of videos. It's all in a nice, convenient playlist for y'all. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Take care of yourselves. Welcome to Garden. Peace out, everyone.
Done.